This timeline looks great, Janette. Do you want to tell me a little bit about it? What does it represent?
Well, basically, Gemma, it illustrates an overview of the process that was involved in preparing a submission and then presenting at an event for the AUA in York.
You've got a couple of drawings there that are repeated throughout the timeline. Can you tell me a little bit about them? I'm thinking about the Google logo and the tools box.
Well, Google Docs is a tool that we use a lot in our team, and basically the benefits of it are that more than one person can be working on a document at the same time, but you don't need to save it as different versions. You can actually both be in the document at the same time and editing and amending. You could be in different locations, you can be on different machines, so it's quite a useful way of working together.
Could you tell me a bit about the toolkit?
The toolkit keeps reappearing because we agreed that we would showcase some online resources and tools that we use and that are used in the sector. So what we did was, right from the outset, we started adding tools and resources to the Google Doc that we thought might be useful to the audience. So throughout the process, we just kept adding to it.
So there's quite a few drawings on there, some of which don't look to be work related. Can you explain a bit about that?
Yeah, that's right. The thing about this tool and the way I've approached it is that sometimes you can't help that your personal life and your work life, basically they're running in parallel together, but sometimes there's crossovers as well. So I put particular areas, particular sort of personal activities in there that have had an impact during the process. So for instance, my partner's 50th birthday party involved a lot of preparation and visitors. We had friends over from America, so that involved sort of time off. We had, well, you and I both went on holiday separately. You went off to Spain, I went off to Iceland. And then, so they're all really, really lovely things. But on the not so lovely, we had windows replaced in January that then had to be re-replaced at home in August. So that really did throw a spanner in the works.
There's quite a few highs and lows there. Can you tell me a little bit about what worked for you in terms of the process?
Well, the actual process of sort of preparing the session, what I really enjoyed and I think what worked well was the conversations that we've had throughout, and also the work we've done with others, where we've spoken to colleagues and we've spoken to others in other organisations about some of the resources and tools that they've used that they find helpful. So all of that collaborative type activity I think's worked really well.
Were there any particular challenges?
I think basically, as is often the case, you underestimate how much time things take to prepare. So obviously we've been involved in other kinds of work throughout the process, some of which was already timetabled in, and other aspects that crop up on an as and when basis. So yeah, it's about juggling things and balancing things out. So perhaps I haven't found that we've had as much time as I thought we would in preparing for the session.
And what about the process of actually completing the timeline? What are your thoughts on that?
I found it a really useful exercise. I'm quite a visual person anyway, and sometimes I do find it easier to look at images rather than read a load of text sometimes, or write a load of text. So I've found that it's been quite a good way to record the whole process and to remind me of particular sort of milestones. It's certainly an approach that I've used before, and I think it'll definitely be an approach that I use again. Another thing that I've found really useful through the process is actually applying some of the tools that we're actually talking about in the session. So we've used the tools to help in the planning, and the good thing about some of these is that it doesn't matter how much time you've got, even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes, you can actually apply the tools to the activity. So 10 minutes with a load of post-its can actually produce quite positive results. So it's been a very positive experience generally.